Hey everyone, it's Edie. From my car again. I want to do a video today about comparing, okay? And we can compare two dancers, two people, a past relationship. When you start comparing people, it can be very, very disheartening, sad, anger, resentment. When you're in a dance partnership, for example, and you start comparing your current partner with your last partner in a negative way, meaning, well, Elizabeth could do this, why can't you? You know, or when you are in a relationship and you start comparing this person to your ex or whatever, it's really a horrible, horrible place to put your mind. What you need to remember is that you are given cards to be dealt, or you're dealt cards, and you have to deal with the cards that have been dealt with you, all right? There was a reason why you're no longer with this ex, whether it's an ex-dance partner or whether it's an ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend. And if you can remember those reasons, it might help you with your current relationship. For example, if I have a dance partner and he's not as good in a certain area as my last dance partner or partners were, then why the hell am I with him now? Number one. Number two, there must be something really good about him that the other two partners did not have, okay? Let's say, for example, you're dating a girl and you decide you want to know everything about her, okay? How many guys she slept with, who was her last boyfriend. You know, you're going to start to compare yourself to her past exes. And that is a horrible place to put your mind. What I do, or what I coach people, is I coach them to protect their mind from anything negative. You want to get rid of all the negative things, circumstances, and people in your life. If they're family members and you can't get rid of them, avoid them at all costs. Spend as little time with them as possible. If you have people at work that are negative, just ignore them. You know, go in a different room, find a different shift, get a different job. It's not worth it. Life is too short to be compared to another person. Especially it hurts when you do it to yourself. Let's say, for example, you're going to date a girl and she used to date bodybuilders, right? And she tells you that she dated bodybuilders. You're going to look at your own gut and you're going to say, holy shit, she probably had guys with ripped abs and I have a little gut, you know? Now that's going to make you feel low. Let's say, for example, you start comparing him to, you find out about his past girlfriends or whatever, and you realize, oh my God, he dated top models, you know? I'm not a top model. There's no way. I don't even like my own pictures, you know? Why is he interested in me now, you know? And now all of a sudden you're comparing yourself to the women that he dated in the past. You're in a dance partnership and you see that your dance partner can dance a lot better with somebody else other than you. And you're comparing yourself to that person and you think, oh man, I really suck compared to her, you know? And when you start comparing yourself against other people and their relationships, or against, you compare yourself against who they were with or who they are with on the floor, for example, that is a recipe for disaster because it makes you feel horrible. What you want to do is you want to reverse that around. Number one, stop comparing to begin with. Number two, if the comparison does come up, if a situation does come up where now you're up against a past girlfriend, boyfriend, a past dance partner, etc., think of this. Why is he or she interested in me? There must have been something horribly wrong with that bodybuilder boyfriend she had or that doctor boyfriend she had, okay, in order for her to be with me now, you know? Or there must have been something horribly wrong with that model or all the models that he dated because he's with me now, you know? And so think of it like that. For example, I had past relationships, both rich men and poor men, okay? And what was interesting is that, you know, everybody thinks, oh, I need to be with a rich guy, you know, he'll take care of me the rest of my life, etc. Oh my God, eventually you pay the price. The richer he is, the more price you have to pay. And unfortunately, my rich guy that I dated ended in very, very harsh physical abuse. I ended up in the hospital. He went to jail. And what's sad is that even though appearance-wise, you know, we were a great couple, even though appearance-wise he had, you know, he could take care of me, he was safe, he was secure, etc. He was a monster, okay? And I couldn't take it. It was just horrible. And I said after that, there's no way. I don't care how cute he is. I don't care how much he wants me, how much money he has. If he's not a wholesome, good, clean, mentally stable man, I don't want to have anything to do with him. I don't care if the guy that I'm going to marry, this is what I was saying several years ago, is poor, okay? If he's mentally stable, that's all I want. And I realized over time what I didn't want. You know, I had all this bucket list of what I did not want in a man. And if Nick, for example, if I told Nick how rich this guy was, you know, it would make him feel like shit, right? And all of a sudden I'm comparing him to Nick, and then Nick would feel bad, but Nick didn't know all the torment and the horrific bruises and hospitalization I had to go through, the strangulations that I endured, you know, God knows what else I went through, and why I stayed with him for so long. It was horrible. And but Nick, all Nick would remember would be how rich the guy was, if you really think about it. Nick isn't that way at all, but if you are with another person, well, apparently she likes rich, abusive guys. What the hell is she doing with me? When you do that, okay, you're completely missing the point. The point is that his or her past, okay, is gone. It's done. They've learned their lessons. That is why they're with you now. Because there was something horribly wrong with the model, bodybuilder, rich guy, doctor, whatever. And they don't want to go there anymore. That's why they're with you now. So celebrate what you currently have. Celebrate the present moment with each other. Live in the moment. Who gives a shit how many girls he slept with? Who gives a shit how many guys he slept with? Who gives a shit how his last dance partner could put her leg all the way up to her earlobe, you know, and do the splits in the air while on one toe? You can't even do the splits, right? He wants you for something else. Okay? And I always tell people, you know, when I'm coaching couples, if you are bananas, like if you're a fruit, okay, if you're a banana and she's cherries, okay? When you mix that two together chemistry-wise, you have a banana and a cherry pie, for example, okay? No matter if you freeze the pie, if you cook the pie, if you let the pie melt, if you let it dry out and become brittle, it will still taste and have a flavor of banana cherry, right? No matter how thin you slice it, it's still banana cherry, okay? People don't change, everyone. Everyone, listen, people don't change. They'll tell you they'll change. Oh, I've changed. And you want to believe that they've changed, but they've only changed for the short period of time, but then they go right back to however their natural nature is and their state of mind is. Because we're all born a certain way with certain characteristics. We all grew up in a situation and we're not going to change. So true love is accepting the person for who they are and loving them anyway. That is true love. That's true friendship as well. Accepting them for who they are and love them anyway. So anyway, going back to the banana cherry pie, right? So even if you break up with this person and then you get back together, they're going to go back to themselves after a few weeks. And you're going to remember, oh shit, this is why we broke up to begin with. He's the same damn person, right? So it's always going to be a banana cherry flavor, no matter what happens to the pie, okay? Even if you stick it in the rain and it freezes in the snow, it's still going to taste banana cherry no matter what. Now, let's say that you're still the banana, right? And you meet a chocolate. There's going to be a total different chemistry going on. There's going to be something really, really different about this particular match. Because why? Because now it tastes banana chocolate. There's no hint of cherry in there anywhere. There's no cherry anywhere. It's just chocolate. And you're going, I like this. I can freeze it. I can cook it. I can bake it. I can make it all wet. I can smash it up in a blender and it's still going to taste banana chocolate. And I like this flavor. So if you had a problem with the banana cherry, you need to get the hell out of that relationship and find somebody else, find somebody new. Because it's always going to be the same damn problems over and over and over again. Okay? People don't change. Bottom line, they don't change. They're grown up a certain way. They're born a certain way. I believe that we're all spiritual beings having a human experience, okay? We came from somewhere and we're going somewhere. I believe that we came to learn something on this planet 12 different times. And we all came under a different horoscope. We all came as a Leo at one point, then we came as a Taurus, then we came as an Aries, then we came as a Capricorn, to learn certain lessons in life about this particular personality characteristic. I believe that we chose the time and the date and the century that we were going to be here. I know this sounds really weird, but this is what I believe. And we are spiritual beings having a human experience so that we can experience pain, suffering, and joy, and elation, and ecstasy. Okay, physical pain, physical joy. And I believe that Pisces is the last time that we come. That's my belief system. Pisces, why? Because Pisces are probably the most generous, most loving people in the world. They're so self-sacrificial. They go out of their way to help other people, okay? Whereas a lot of other birth signs could really give a shit about helping anybody else. A lot of other birth signs are pretty much narcissistic. Some of them are very businesslike. Some of them are stubborn. You know, some of them want to be number one, and I could go through each one. That's another video. Anyway, so if we came a certain way in order to learn the certain lessons that we have to learn in life, you're not going to be able to change anyone. You're not going to be able to piss them off enough to change. You might piss them off enough to hurt you, which is what happened to me. You might piss them off enough to break up with you, you know. But then when you start comparing them to others and you say, well, Susie did this or Jim did that, you know, why can't you do this? That is a recipe for absolute disaster. And another recipe for disaster is when you start comparing yourself to who your dance partner was with in the past or your relationship was with in the past. Comparing people with other people is horrible because there's a lot of people that have incredible talents in different fields. They might be awesome at mathematics, but they suck at dancing, okay? They might be incredible piano players. Oh, this is what happened to me once. I was in a private lesson, and I was training this guy. This was in Orange County, California, several years ago, and I was teaching him a private, and I don't think I was as patient back then as I am now. Anyway, I think I might have been getting a little impatient with him because he still couldn't get the basic step after 45 minutes. And I was thinking, is there something wrong with him or is it me? You know, you start questioning your teaching abilities at that point. And he goes, Edie, you know, I'm just not getting this. He goes, I don't know if dancing is for me, but I do want to show you something. And I said, what's that? And he goes, come over here. He started feeling like shit. You know, his ego dropped to the floor and all this. And I could tell. I thought, oh my God, you know. And he brought me over to a piano, and he sat down at that piano in the middle of our private lesson, and he started to play the most beautiful he started to play the most beautiful music I'd ever heard. And I think I was judging him for not being able to do the fucking basic step. I was thinking to myself, it's just 6 steps, right? Edie, how many keys are on a piano? There's more than 6, you bitch. And he humbled me, you know. And I realized right then and there, wow, you know, these people have talents that are unbelievable outside of dance, you know. These people are amazing, you know, that you teach on the dance floor. Find the positive in your current partner, your current dance partner, your current relationship, and stop comparing, stop judging. Look for the good in them, okay? Look for the good in them and appreciate and love them. Because sometimes you don't have any idea who they really are deep down, because you're so caught up in your own selfish, egotistical mindset that everything has to be just perfect for you, you know? And that's the way that I was. And you know what? I'm not that way anymore. Sorry, I didn't mean to start crying. But I'll never forget that day, my God. I'll never forget that day. So anyway, this is Edie the Salsa Freak. I'm signing out, okay? Bye.